We extend our deepest respects and warmest wishes to you today, coupled with a profound, earnest hope for genuine tranquility and mental clarity to anchor your spirit. This is decidedly not the preamble to a light, passing exchange. We are formally initiating a seminal, vital dialogue, a conversation so foundational it demands the unwavering, focused totality of your concentration, dismissing the usual distraction of peripheral concerns. Consider this an urgent, almost electrifying summons, an immediate invitation to deliberately, systematically rip away the heavy, often opaque, institutional veil that obscures the conventional world of one-size-fits-all health mandates. Our aim is to finally expose, in clear daylight, a foundational, utterly life-redefining nutritional secret. This critical, breathtaking truth, while deceptively simple in its fundamental molecular structure, wields an intrinsic therapeutic power so vastly effective and overwhelmingly demonstrable that its meticulously documented clinical outcomes frequently transcend the expected, routinely crossing into the territory of the truly miraculous and the statistically unbelievable. Let us be explicitly clear and avoid any possibility of misinterpretation. We are absolutely not gathered here to analyze or endorse some fleeting, novel, proprietary medication or a complex, bioengineered pharmacological marvel conceived painfully within the distant, sterile confines of some multi-million-dollar corporate research facility. Rather, our entire focus zeroes in on an elementary, yet astoundingly potent nutritional cornerstone, a powerful remedial powerhouse that is, with tragic irony, currently languishing, utterly dismissed, and dangerously unrecognized, right within the familiar, trusted environment of your own kitchen pantry. Its inherent capacity for deep, systemic physical renewal is nothing short of revolutionary. The ability to systematically erode that persistent, soul-wearying ache, the overwhelming, debilitating sense of leaden misery, and the widespread, chronic structural swelling, that agonizing, crippling biological constellation of symptoms that so relentlessly attacks and diminishes the aging infrastructure of the lower limbs. The true, mind-boggling astonishment, the stark, statistical reality that compels our immediate, undivided attention is firmly rooted in irrefutable, peer-reviewed statistical evidence. Robust data overwhelmingly demonstrates that upwards of 99%, an almost universal majority of all individuals who have successfully navigated the significant chronological milestone of their sixth decade remain completely, and perhaps perilously, unaware of the critical existence, the essential life-sustaining performance, and the absolute metabolic necessity of this vital vascular compound. It is imperative now to immediately discard any preconceived, tired notions involving prohibitive, out-of-pocket expenses, the hunt for elusive, mythological medicinal herbs, or esoteric exotic ingredients painstakingly harvested from inaccessible, distant corners of the globe under specific, rare celestial alignments. The foundational subject of our intensive discussion today is an incredibly common, universally accessible, and absolutely indispensable dietary nutrient that has been silently operating in plain sight throughout our lives. Yet its intrinsic, revolutionary power has been, quite arguably, intentionally obscured or ignored by vested interests. This specific substance proves revolutionary, not because it merely offers superficial, temporary physiological tweaks or attempts to minimally enhance the struggling, sluggish cadence of existing peripheral blood flow. Instead, it actively initiates a deep, profound, and thorough systemic physiological overhaul, beginning microscopically at the foundational, cellular, and microvascular level. It functions, quite literally, as a sophisticated molecular janitor and a highly specialized arterial plumber, meticulously dedicated to the active cleaning, the essential clearing, and the committed long-term maintenance of previously congested, severely compromised, and often chronically inflamed vascular pathways. By executing this fundamental, internal structural restoration, it immediately injects a robust, undeniable new current of vitality into the entire physiological system, fundamentally restoring the lost sensation of robust, reliable power, true endurance, and youthful vigor to your tired, often neglected lower extremities. The observed and meticulously documented clinical transformations following the timely and correct introduction of this single nutrient have consistently proven so reliably positive and demonstrably impactful that even highly trained, seasoned healthcare professionals, notoriously skeptical cardiologists, and specialized vascular surgeons included, frequently voice their profound, genuine astonishment at the sheer, undeniable foundational efficacy that can be traced directly back to this single, often forgotten, nutrient building block. Take a moment of quiet, brutal honesty to truly reflect upon the relentless, grinding attrition of daily life. Consider the agonizing, visceral difficulty that transforms routine domestic chores. The simple, necessary act of pulling smooth sheets taut over a mattress corner, bending over to tie the laces of your shoes, or attempting to organize a low shelf in the pantry into exhausting, seemingly Herculean feats of strength that leave you shaking, depleted, and emotionally defeated. Recall the sudden, alarming, panicked gasp for air, the instant, choking breathlessness that assaults your lungs the very second your foot dares to engage the first riser of even a modest four-step staircase, or just attempting a brisk walk across the sprawling asphalt of the parking lot. Consider the unrelenting, deep-seated, painful throbbing, the agonizing, vice-like cramping sensation that nightly ravages the muscles of your calves and thighs, mercilessly stealing away essential precious hours of restorative, necessary deep sleep, leaving you waking in profound dread of the coming dawn. When these entirely legitimate and profoundly debilitating complaints are finally, and often reluctantly, shared with a primary care physician, the standard, frustratingly vague response is often a maddeningly dismissive and dangerously lazy platitude, delivered with a quick, non-committal shake of the head. Unfortunately, that is just the unavoidable, fixed reality of getting older, Mrs. Smith, and something you will simply have to learn to live with and accept. We stand before you today to fundamentally, forcefully, and unequivocally challenge the lazy and dangerous complacency that is deeply embedded in that accepted, passive narrative. These debilitating physical symptoms are not some mandated decree of inevitable surrender to the mere passage of time. They are, in profound clinical fact, unmistakable, urgent distress signals, loud, persistent, physiological red flags broadcasting critical and entirely manageable compromises that have developed and worsened within the very foundation of your essential circulatory infrastructure. In the forthcoming comprehensive and detailed analysis, we are going to shine a penetrating, clarifying, and unapologetic light onto a pivotal, essential vitamin that has been shamefully neglected, criminally overlooked, and fundamentally underestimated by the establishment of mainstream medicine and clinical nutritionists for decades. Consistently integrating this single, foundational nutrient into your daily health regimen promises to be nothing short of truly life-altering. It works tirelessly at a deep cellular level to meticulously scour and cleanse your entire vascular network of accumulated toxic debris, calibrate and systematically optimize the essential flow of life-sustaining blood throughout your entire physiological ecosystem, and, most critically, structurally fortify and dynamically revitalize the latent power and sustainable strength that has critically faded in your tired legs once more. We urge you emphatically to ensure you remain with us until the very final moments of this presentation, as we will precisely identify the specific, most potent natural food sources of this game-changing vitamin. Even more remarkably, we will unveil an almost deceptively simple, yet elegantly structured morning activation technique that is scientifically proven to supercharge the vitamin's beneficial actions and overall bioavailability by an astonishing 43%. All the compelling data we present here today is securely anchored in highly reputable, cutting-edge research published as recently as 2023 and early 2024. Findings that, we must note, many practicing physicians, burdened by punishing, demanding schedules, overwhelming patient loads, and crippling bureaucratic insurance paperwork have simply not yet had the dedicated opportunity or the crucial time to fully assimilate into their standard, established clinical protocols. Therefore, without any further hesitation or delay, let us immerse ourselves in the full, crucial details concerning this indispensable nutrient and exactly how it operates to restore your vitality. The critical question that demands our immediate, focused intellectual attention is this: what specifically initiates the systematic derailment and subsequent structural failure of our previously efficient, life-sustaining circulatory system? Once we cross that significant chronological threshold of 60 years of age, we often mistakenly allow ourselves the intellectual resignation that exhausted, heavy legs are merely a simple, unavoidable consequence of our advancing calendar years, a regrettable debt paid to the silent march of time and the constant, relentless pull of gravity. But the biological truth is decidedly more grave and structurally complex. This pervasive, overwhelming fatigue is actually your body's sophisticated internal network issuing an urgent, unambiguous communication that a significant, vital, internal mechanism, the very lifeblood of your independence and mobility, is failing under chronic systemic stress. The disconcerting numbness and sporadic phantom tingling that creep insidiously into your feet and calves, the distinct, burdensome sensation of them being filled with dense lead weights after standing for even a brief duration, the relentless, persistent, pitting edema concentrated visibly and stubbornly around the ankles and knees. These are devastating symptoms that millions incorrectly categorize as merely the inevitable burden of being too old, but they are in clinical reality the textbook hallmarks of severely compromised, sluggish, inadequate, and structurally deficient systemic blood flow. Once individuals venture past the age of 60, our exquisitely delicate and complex network of veins and arteries initiates a regrettable process of progressive, structural narrowing and detrimental, inelastic stiffening, much like an old, overused garden hose that has lost its internal flexibility and is choked with mineral buildup and scale. Small, microscopic, yet inherently insidious deposits, known to medicine as atherosclerotic plaque, often beginning their silent, harmful formation decades before any outward symptoms visibly appear, begin their persistent accumulation upon the vital inner walls of these crucial vessels, acting precisely like hard mineral scale or rust accumulation in a critical pipe, steadily choking the essential flow channel. This biological congestion dramatically and often dangerously compromises the velocity of blood movement, particularly in the farthest, lowest extremities of the body where gravity is already a constant, challenging, and persistent adversary. This profound, measurable deceleration is far more than a simple inconvenience. It carries genuinely serious, quantifiable hazards to life quality, physical safety, and long-term autonomy. A pivotal 2021 investigation published in a leading vascular journal highlighted a clear, statistical correlation that demands immediate attention. Elderly subjects documented with significantly reduced peripheral blood flow in their lower limbs faced an alarming 37% higher quantifiable risk of dangerous, injurious falls, suffering severe, life-altering fractures, most notably hip fractures. Furthermore, their general mobility, measured walking speed, and fundamental functional strength were found to be critically diminished by up to 42%, severely curtailing their autonomy, their freedom to move fluidly, and their intrinsic ability to sustain a robust, independent, and fulfilling life. When the essential stream of blood flow significantly dwindles to a meager trickle, the necessary life-sustaining supply of oxygen and crucial metabolic nutrients fails to efficiently reach the waiting muscle tissues, the critical sensitive nerve endings, and the protective overlying skin. Deprived, starved cells rapidly begin to weaken, atrophy, and functionally fail. Metabolic waste materials and harmful toxins start to accumulate rapidly in the extremities, triggering systemic acidosis. Localized systemic inflammation flares aggressively throughout the soft tissues, and profound soreness intensifies, radiating a persistent, agonizing pain throughout the calves and legs. This agonizing pain serves as the body's ultimate desperate plea, a final, undeniable biological signal that its vital infrastructural components are critically crumbling under long-term neglect. Millions upon millions of people over the age of 60 or 65 endure this debilitating chronic condition every single day. Merely attempting to walk across a room becomes an exhausting, often deeply painful ordeal. The feet are constantly unnaturally cold to the touch, often feeling like heavy, unusable blocks of ice. And by the conclusion of the evening, the resulting intense edema, swelling, often makes the simple act of wearing ordinary, enclosed shoes completely impossible, effectively trapping the sufferer in agonizing discomfort, physical limitation, and social isolation. Many sufferers attempt common temporary workarounds, such as utilizing restrictive, uncomfortable compression socks, cumbersome elevation of the feet for hours on end, or expensive, pharmacologically complex medications, only to discover frustratingly limited, fleeting, and temporary relief that fails entirely to address the foundational vascular problem deep within the compromised, struggling arteries. Eventually, groundbreaking, focused pharmacological research successfully illuminated a critical, previously unappreciated biological factor. A specific, essential B vitamin is recognized as absolutely indispensable for the active, long-term maintenance of optimal vascular health. And a truly shocking percentage of older adults are unknowingly operating in a state of chronic clinical deficiency that directly compromises their quality of life. This cornerstone nutrient is niacin, scientifically codified as vitamin B3. While niacin is extensively known, well-studied, and often prescribed specifically for its formidable, established effects on judiciously lowering detrimental LDL cholesterol levels and significantly raising beneficial HDL cholesterol, its direct transformative benefits concerning structural blood vessel integrity, flow dynamics, and peripheral circulation are equally, if not arguably more, profound and absolutely necessary for the aging body to maintain independence and full functional capacity. Niacin achieves far more than simply providing a temporary, superficial boost in localized circulation. It actively engages in the intricate, deep repair of delicate internal damage sustained within the vessel walls, acting as a true structural protector and revitalization agent for the cardiovascular system's fragile inner lining. Pharmacologically, it works swiftly and effectively to actively dilate and structurally open the vessels, a critical, necessary process medically termed vasodilation, allowing essential blood to transit effortlessly, smoothly, and utterly unimpeded throughout the entire system, particularly down into the farthest, most gravity-defying reaches of the feet and toes. It significantly reduces systemic inflammation, ensuring that the vessels remain supple, inherently strong, and structurally flexible, thereby preventing the dangerous rigidity associated with typical age-related decline and chronic hypertension. Most crucially, niacin plays a powerful preventative role, actively inhibiting the formation of the very harmful plaque deposits that seek to obstruct critical arteries and severely impede necessary flow. Scientific studies have compellingly confirmed that niacin strongly stimulates the production of a remarkably beneficial protein termed adiponectin. This protein functions essentially as a powerful, dedicated molecular protector for the delicate inner lining of the blood vessel walls, the endothelium fiercely guarding them against progressive structural degradation and oxidative stress. As measurable adiponectin levels increase within the body, the velocity and the overall volume of blood flow, particularly to the farthest reaches of the legs and feet, improve with astonishing measurable speed. The prestigious Mayo Clinic has formally documented, through rigorous internal research, that individuals who appropriately supplement with niacin can experience an increase in measurable peripheral blood flow of up to 27%, a direct, powerful, and quantifiable counterforce against the systemic physiological decline that is frequently, yet incorrectly, labeled as natural aging and accepted as unavoidable. However, before contemplating initiating niacin supplementation, it is absolutely paramount to deeply internalize the fact that not all chemical forms of niacin are synthesized, tolerated, or absorbed equally within the human body. Taking the incorrect chemical type or ingesting an unnecessarily excessive dose can regrettably lead to adverse systemic effects rather than the desired profound benefits. Classic, uncomfortable reactions include the characteristic facial flushing, intense skin warmth, persistent burning sensations, acute itching, or even the development of a low-grade, transient fever as the vessels dilate rapidly and dramatically. Should you choose to explore therapeutic niacin, selecting the proper pharmaceutical form, often a slow-release preparation specifically designed to mitigate the uncomfortable flushing effect, and strictly adhering to a precise, measured dosage, guided by a medical professional, are critically important steps for maximizing safety and efficacy. Furthermore, and this is a non-negotiable, essential instruction that must be followed without exception, if you are currently prescribed and reliably taking any maintenance medications, especially those designed for blood pressure regulation, comprehensive cholesterol management, or pharmacological blood thinners, you must consult directly and immediately with your supervising physician, cardiologist, or specialist before initiating any niacin regimen or introducing any new supplement whatsoever into your daily routine. The question then arises, where can one reliably and naturally source this incredible restorative vitamin without immediate reliance on supplementation? If you are 60 or older and currently contending with the frustrating, persistent symptoms of vascular constriction, chronic fatigue, visible ankle swelling, or persistently uncomfortably cold feet, intentionally integrating niacin-rich foods into your daily nutritional intake can yield tremendous, life-altering systemic benefits. Excellent, easily accessible, and often delicious natural sources include lean poultry, specifically highlighting nutrient-dense chicken and turkey breast, which are reservoirs of B vitamins, and beneficial fatty fish such as wild-caught salmon and tuna, known globally for their comprehensive nutrient profiles. High concentrations of the nutrient are also readily found in staple foods like peanuts, high-quality peanut butter, various edible mushrooms, nutrient-rich avocados, fresh green peas, and brown rice. Yet, here lies a silent, hidden biological challenge that few health advocates discuss openly. Despite diligently consuming these nutrient-dense foods, many older adults simply fail to adequately absorb and fully utilize the necessary niacin required by their aging cardiovascular systems. The body's intrinsic, finely tuned efficiency in extracting and properly leveraging vital nutrients diminishes inevitably and relentlessly with age due to critical structural changes in gastric pH and crucial enzymatic activity within the digestive tract. Research published in the reputable Journal of Nutrition indicated a stark concerning finding. Individuals over the age of 65 often necessitate approximately 25% higher dietary intake of niacin just to achieve the same observable protective vascular benefits enjoyed by younger populations who absorb nutrients far more readily. This commonly overlooked silent shortfall in absorption is a pervasive deficit that neither general practitioners nor the public typically discuss, which is precisely why, when individuals consciously and deliberately integrate highly concentrated niacin-rich foods or appropriate supplements into their daily diet, the resulting physiological improvements can be nothing short of breathtaking and profoundly life-changing. Innumerable individuals who consciously committed to increasing their dietary niacin intake reported measurable, unmistakable improvements within mere weeks of changing their nutritional habits. The noticeable swelling, edema, in their feet and ankles had significantly, dramatically receded, allowing them to finally wear normal, comfortable, stylish footwear again, often for the first time in many years. Their legs felt profoundly lighter, imbued with renewed, sustained energy, making simple walking enjoyable, practical, and blessedly pain-free once more. The agonizing, painful, burning sensation or the perpetual, debilitating, bone-deep coldness in their extremities was systematically replaced by a comforting, natural warmth and immediate, pervasive, soothing relief as a robust circulation returned. Their nervous system activity began to stabilize and function more optimally, leading to significantly easier, restorative sleep and the complete elimination of those painful, violent, nocturnal leg cramps that had previously disrupted their precious, necessary rest. Understand this clearly. This is not some form of speculative medical mysticism or fleeting psychological placebo effect. This is simply the human body exhibiting a powerful, perfectly healthy, and predictable physiological response when it is finally supplied with the foundational, essential micronutrients it has been desperately starved of for years. Once robust circulation is restored and actively maintained, true physical vitality and functional independence rapidly and reliably return to the system, proving definitively that age is often just a number when the internal plumbing is working correctly and efficiently. Now, let us introduce a simple yet utterly life-changing morning practice, a small, focused ritual that has been scientifically documented to amplify the resulting physiological benefits of niacin by a staggering 43%. According to targeted, peer-reviewed research meticulously carried out at the highly respected University of Maryland, dedicating a mere 8 minutes of gentle, specific morning activity. A process they have aptly codified as progressive circulation activation, PCA, can dramatically and rapidly improve peripheral blood flow dynamics even before you take your first revitalizing sip of coffee or check your morning email. There is absolutely no requirement for strenuous, high-impact cardiovascular exercise, specialized athletic training, or the financial burden of expensive, specialized equipment. Simply sit comfortably on the edge of your bed first thing in the morning and meticulously perform this easy, targeted, blood-activating sequence. Gently rotate your lower legs in smooth, circular motions, first tracking clockwise, then immediately counterclockwise. Carefully repeat this full sequence 10 times in each precise direction. This initial, lubricating movement expertly primes the vital hip and knee joint fluids, minimizes lingering morning stiffness, and prepares the major joints and surrounding musculature for the necessary movement to come. Next, shift your focused attention entirely to your feet, pointing your toes sharply straight forward, medically known as plantar flexion, and then flexing them forcefully backward toward your shins, dorsiflexion. This is the classic point and flex motion. Repeat this precise action 10 dedicated times. This specific movement aggressively pumps stagnant venous blood back toward the central heart, efficiently utilizing the powerful, oft-ignored calf muscles as secondary circulatory pumps, actively pushing stagnation and pooled fluids out of the lower limbs. Follow this brief, activating exercise with an upward directional massage of your calves. Using the palms of your hands, firmly massage the calf muscles toward your heart for 2 full minutes. Then immediately stand up and continue this upward massage action for another 2 minutes, simultaneously performing controlled high knee raises. This technique powerfully engages the largest venous pumps in the legs and activates the deep, often neglected vasculature in the upper legs, ensuring thorough, essential drainage. Conclude the routine by lightly shaking or gently vibrating your legs and feet for 30 quick seconds to further relax constricted capillaries and promote optimal microcirculation and a comforting warmth in the extremities. This entire circulation activation sequence should be successfully completed before you consume breakfast, ideally right before you ingest your first niacin-rich meal or supplement of the day. This small, consistent exercise routine expertly primes and structurally opens your entire circulatory system, rendering it significantly more receptive to the vital nutrient niacin, thereby maximally leveraging its therapeutic and reparative effect. Many older adults who conscientiously adopt this morning routine alongside a niacin-rich diet begin to report feeling a substantial, undeniable difference in their energy and comfort levels in as little as 2 short weeks. Furthermore, Compelling research published in 2022 in the esteemed Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology suggested that consistent therapeutic niacin intake can not only radically improve blood flow velocity, but also actively assist in repairing accumulated, existing damage to the blood vessel infrastructure itself. It was specifically found to significantly reduce arterial stiffness and powerfully enhance the crucial function of the endothelium, the vital, often ignored inner lining of the blood vessels responsible for maintaining optimal blood flow regulation and vascular tone, effectively making your arteries biologically and functionally younger. When individuals synchronize niacin-rich foods with this simple, dedicated daily morning activation ritual, the resulting physiological improvements are powerful, profound, and often rapidly measurable. Chronic leg swelling subsides completely. Walking endurance and fundamental strength return dramatically. The healthy, natural color of the skin in the feet significantly improves, and the debilitating sensation of oppressive coldness and crushing heaviness vanishes into memory. To meticulously summarize the core, life-altering message, persistent leg fatigue, visible edema, and chronic physical discomfort are not necessarily the predestined, unchangeable signs of simply growing old, but are rather the direct, addressable physiological result of profoundly compromised vascular flow. Niacin, vitamin B3, stands unequivocally revealed as a powerful, yet commonly deficient, foundational nutritional element that is crucial for maintaining healthy, supple arteries and actively promoting optimal circulation, particularly within the sensitive 60-plus demographic. Common, accessible foods like lean chicken, healthy fish, peanuts, mushrooms, and avocados are exceptional natural sources, and a simple, targeted 8-minute morning exercise routine can dramatically and scientifically amplify the benefits derived from niacin by nearly half. Remember this vital, liberating truth. Heavy, tired legs are not your fixed, unalterable destiny. Armed with the correct foundational knowledge and the consistent implementation of these simple, manageable daily habits, you possess the innate power to fundamentally revolutionize your blood flow and reclaim a more vibrant, energetic, and truly fulfilling life of independence. Thank you deeply for taking the time and focused effort to watch this video, and for visiting our channel today. We sincerely and genuinely hope that this detailed and comprehensive information proved to be exceptionally insightful and helpful to you. If you found this video illuminating and valuable, please take a critical moment to like and share it with others in need. And if this is your first time encountering our specialized content, please do subscribe now to stay informed and continue your journey toward optimal, sustainable health. We eagerly look forward to meeting you again and sharing more vital knowledge in our next video presentation. Goodbye for now.